All right, guys, so you know what time it is? It's tax time again. And the question that I always ask is, do you have a plan for any money that you're going to be getting back? Let me restate that. Do you have a good plan for the money that you're going to be getting back? A lot of us have plans for that money, but it's not always a good plan. A good plan is doing something with that money that is going to reinvest in you. So, whether you are putting money in a retirement fund, whether you are taking that money to invest in an idea that you've been wanting to do for a side business, different things like that can work for you. So if you put money in a stock now, let's say you buy some Apple stock or you buy some Nvidia stock, whatever it may be. Let's say you buy money into that particular stock. Down the line, that is going to make money for you. I know a lot of people want to get that quick return, on things, but it's not always that easy. If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. So, what are you going to do with that money? If you don't want to invest in a stock market, that's not your, lane that you want to travel. It's too risky for you. I get it. There are less riskier things you can do in the stock market and not investing directly into specific stocks. You can invest in mutual funds and ETFs, things that may track the S&P 500. Those are things that are less risky. If you just want to stay out of the stock market, at least put your money in a high yield savings account. I talk about this all the time in regards to a high yield savings. If you're going to just let your money sit in a savings account, make sure it's high yield. You can Google and find all about high yield savings, and you can choose one that works best for you. Me, I've always had my money in Ally. Right now it's 4.3% versus like a 0.0003, at one of the big box banks. You always want to make sure that you're getting the best return on that money. If you don't want to do a high yield savings, they even have CDs that are giving as much as 5% on your return. I just invested some money in a CD at TD Bank. They have a 6-month 5% return on that money. It's just 6 months, unless you need to have that money readily available. You should try looking at something like that. Like I said, TD has a good 5% rate. You can look at other places. All you have to do is Google these things. Google certificate of deposit, Google high yield savings. And that's only if you don't want to get into the stock market. There's lots of different options. You have to choose the thing that works best for you. But regardless of which one that you choose, do your research. Make sure you understand what is happening. If you're going to go to a bank and get a high yield savings, look at the fine print. Make sure they're not saying that you got to have so many deposits coming in a month. Different ones say different things. With Ally, I don't have to have any specific amounts coming in. Once you put the money in, it's there. So make sure you read the fine print on everything because it's different depending on where you go. But either way, invest in yourself with whatever money you get back. And I'll leave it at this. I've said this before. You're not supposed to get money back on your income tax. You want to break even. If you do get something back, it should be less than $100. The goal is make sure that when you fill out your taxes, you break even or you have a low amount. Because if you get a lot of money back, that means that you've given the government a whole year to play with your money when you could have been taking that money and putting it in something that's investing in you and giving you a return on that money. You could average 22% on certain things in the stock market, or if you just follow the S&P, average 7 to 8% versus you giving that money to the government and nothing happening, and then you get it back at tax time, and then you go and waste it on something that's not going to invest in you. Either way, always invest in yourself. You're the only one that's going to be there to take care of you in the end. Don't depend on retirement. You don't know if that retirement is going to be there. And when I say retirement, I mean Social Security. If you got a 401k, that's different. If you have an IRA, that's different. That's you betting on yourself by putting money in those things. Hopefully this helped you out, but make sure you always invest in yourself. Yeah, yeah, oh, 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 yeah, yeah.